Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let's talk about photography again. Most photographers dream of owning their photography studio, but in most cases, they are also often intimidated by the logistic and the expense. Our short guide will help you navigate studio photography without overwhelming you. Here is our list of the tools you need and some tip on setting up your studio space. The ideal spaces for studio photography. People often imagine a photo studio as a large space complete with a cyclorama and all sorts of equipment. But the truth is, you don't always need to have a large space or place to take studio photos. It all depending on what type of photography you want to shoot. For instance, if you only do beauty and headshots, a studio the size of 250 square foot bedroom should be enough. Of course, if you are doing full body shots, you need to have plenty of room for a large backdrop as your lights. In most cases, a space about as big as two-car garage will suffice. When looking for space for studio photography, also consider the number of windows on the property. If you are natural light photographer, you will need plenty of windows. But if you want to use artificial lighting exclusively, it would be preferable to have a space and a place without windows at all to avoid window lights from interfering with your lights. In reality, most photographers use both window light and artificial light. If that is the case for you, then look for a space that lets you block out the windows when you don't need the ambient light. Light sources. When starting your photography studio, consider the type of lighting you need to use. Do you often work with natural light, flash photography, or both? If you are a natural light photography, then you need to have a plenty of windows. That way, you have plenty of available light throughout the day. For flash photography, it's often ideal to have a Windows photography studio. That way, you don't have Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good afternoon, friends. Today is Friday as usual. I'm doing right now travel cam, Canon R with Canon 85mm, Sony A7 II with Sony 35mm, plus Canon 80D with Canon 50mm. Fotógrafo, Joe Studio Manhattan, New York City. Welcome to my studio. Unfortunately, mono lights tend to be more expensive than either LED or speed lights. Apart from that, they also tend to be bigger and heavier. But if you have the budget, these lights are still the best option for studio photography. Standard reflector. You can think of standard reflector as a small parabolic dish inside a flash light. It concentrates the beam so it creates a tight spot around the subject. The reflector doesn't have a diffusion material. That's why it's perfect if you want to increase the harsh lighting of the sun in your photo studio. Umbrella. If you are not into harsh lighting, you might want to consider using an umbrella instead if you want to try portrait photography in your photo studio. This is the best first option for you. It's not only cheap, but it also creates a beautiful soft light that envelopes your subject. Thank you very much, my friends. Have a good day and have a nice weekend. Bye.